Hello Virgo, we are here to do your Venus retrograde. I am late, but better late than never, right? And we're going to tune into the energy of what can be coming through for you guys. Now, Venus does go retrograde May 13th through to the 25th, I believe, of June. Now, we're going to have some eclipse energies playing out around that time. Also, stay tuned to the end of the video, because if you do want to see what my style's like and how I do readings for people live, I do super chat at the end of each video, as well as it does give you an opportunity to see how I operate and what that process is. And I'm hoping it's not going to lag, because I have moved the office around. I'm just going to move the computer a bit so that we can check in and we can be going retrograde, Pluto as well. So there's going to be a lot of shake-ups and shifts and changes. I do feel for Venus on this occasion, we are going to have a very unique way to actually view it, and it's not traditional. So the energy of what's going to be coming through will be quite unique because of the aspects that Venus is making to Neptune. And I do predict, and I'm hoping this doesn't keep lagging the way it is. It's driving me crazy at the moment. At the moment, I'm feeling with Venus at the moment making aspects to Neptune, what we're going to see is a lot of karmic frequency. And because we've got the tying out of the nodes and moving, we can say we're at the end of the karmic cycle, but we actually haven't. There's a process to each, transition. Now, we had the conjunction in January. We also had a lot of Pisces and Aries energy February and March, which was deeply fatiguing. And for you guys, where was that placement? Let's have a good hard look. 7th house, marriages, contracts, partnerships. So, 7th house in a sense of dreams. The distortion connected to that was really coming up. With the energy of Aries and Chiron, it falls in your 8th house, which again is a very non-codependent house, but in a healthy way of being codependent in an area. But looking at it where you can depend on yourself, what you can directly look at to have control in your life. And this is a real level up situation. So if you've been fine-tuning your business, or you've been looking at your life and trying to put quality systems in, the 25th of April is where you may see some of those themes under the microscope, especially when it comes to quality systems. I mean, you guys are really, really clean. And Pluto can link into plastics and PPE and things like that. So you may be kind of cleaning shop, cleaning house, shifting things around to kind of correct and prepare yourself. And you've got to work with your own energy at an intuitive level to prepare yourself for what's coming in. Sometimes you'll notice synchronistically that you'll be shifting things around your house. It can be unhappy within the environment. Other times, if you're packing things away and you're giving things away and throwing things away, it's you're creating new chi energy. So I do feel a very busy energy with your zodiac sign, but I'm also feeling a lot of psychological energy. Where would that come in for you guys? Let me have a look. And I'm wondering why I'm picking up psychology. Okay. The sun will activate your 12th house. Now, the sun is currently, I do believe, Taurus on the 27th of April. You can be clicking into, okay, what is that? What is quality? What do we deem as value? And it can be we're trying to pamper ourselves, can be up doing, changing our hair, doing our makeup, getting into a fitness regime, changing the way in which we're eating, or even addictions, so it can be where we're looking at foods, especially because Venus energy is very to the luxury energy. It's what makes us feel good. So it can be where we're gearing and moving towards like chocolates and junk food, because we're filling the soul. But again, when we're filling our soul, especially turning it into a junk machine, it's a spiritual blockage, and it's something that's coming up. It can also be inner child work, which again, I will be pulling cards for that. Now, with the nodes shifting and Venus being in Gemini, it's falling in the 10th house. And the 10th house is, again, your career sector. So the key and the solution to that is networking. And, I had a bit of a group chat on Facebook, which if you guys haven't joined me there, feel free to, because I do different content there. And I'm definitely going to be doing different content on Instagram as well. And at some point, I'm going to be hosting live webinars and chat rooms potentially on my actual website, so that we've got little things that we can get from different places. But it's more going to be for the website, it'll be energies of support systems and tools so that we can develop those things, but talk very candidly in the privacy of that energy. Now, with the 10th house, depending on the degree point where you were born, so the beginning of that cycle of being a Virgo, the middle section or to the end, you tend to take on different energies. So some of you, it will be the 9th house. And again, the 9th house is your spiritual energy. It can be linking in again, very similar to the nodes being in Gemini, because it is linked to foreign countries and travel. And again, because the energy of Gemini is going to be in Venus, it won't just be relationships, but I will be pulling the energies for relationships as well. So with that, what you will be looking at is you could be linking into a person who has a particular upbringing that's in a sense contrast to what you are, how you are. So this can be a person who's very different to you. It can also be you're looking for your life purpose. You're looking at what the bigger meaning is, and you feel somehow you're off point. Also, you do tend to find during Venus retrograde, similar to Mercury retrograde, because it is a Mercury energy, people from the past are going to come back, and skeletons in the closet. So it doesn't have to be the physical energy of the person, but many times it can be. And it can be really odd. It can be friendship groups all of a sudden linking with you, exes from the past, karmics as well. I mean, and especially because Neptune's there, some of us that are holding space and you're like, is my ex going to come back from the past? It's yes, but their exes are going to come back from the past too, but it doesn't mean that it's accepted. Many, and especially what's coming through in the collective of particular readers, which you'll notice these synchronicities, is we're hearing terms, the exes coming back from the past. Also, it can be, if you do subscribe to Soul Path, which is another subject I'm going to be talking about, because some of you are at that pocket in the journey where you're feeling very disconnected from that. And I'm going to give a webinar based on that, the reasons why that happens, which is very normal. That's a separate video. So if you haven't subscribed, subscribe and stay tuned. I'll put it in the community tab. With the energy of 9th house, your spiritual beliefs are going to transfer. The 3rd house balances it. Your career sector is highlighted. So you're going to have a lot of energies where you're going to be assessing them. So Pluto retrograde, yes, assessing them. Neptune aspects, even if that person directly knows where they want to bloody be, or you, the thing is, their crazies may be coming with them, even if they've cycled that energy out. Now, this cycle that we're all moving through, all of us, we're all going to have an aspect of the past in some shape or form we're cycling out. Now, your wounds at the moment are in your 8th house, which again, in the past, you may have had quality systems there. You may have not been codependent, and people may have needed on you, and you've had to rebuild, right? That wound potentially can come up. Now, the reason I say the 8th house is because Chiron in Aries is your 8th house. Again, it can have slight undertones of the 7th depending on where you were born. When I say where you were born, the beginning of the cycle of that zodiac sign, middle, or the end. Regardless of how that lands, a trigger point that comes up will be something that you can directly look at so that you don't prevent yourself. Because this being a number 4 vibration year means, okay, we need to work in tribe. The themes of what we've been moving through have been tribe orientation, as in the energy of Cancer. So the nodes in Cancer where you live, if you operate and work from there, how that was playing out. Many of us at a collective level had the 4th house of Pluto at a collective level. So it's psychological, right? The 4th house is horrid. It's very much no sooner do you correct everything, it changes and swaps, and you've got to re-alchemize that to move it forward. So it can be a very unsettling place. So many will be moving houses, especially with the nodal energy shifting. And some of us are talking in layman's terms of what's happening with the collective, and that's not possible. Yes, it is. you're going to start seeing shifts in that dynamic too, especially with the node shifting. So it is going to amp up and be busy. And if you're being intuitively guided to do certain things, now is really the time to get on your A game. Nodes shifting. If you wish to network away. But again, any cemented contracts as per se, if you assess it, live it, embody it, deal with it. Don't be scared to a point, or what's the point, because it's Venus retrograde, so nothing beautiful will come out of this. Polar opposite, actually. 9 times out of 10 blessings from the past, of the past time that we had Venus in retrograde. Those old energies can come back to be corrected and balanced and given to you as blessings. So there's always light and dark, but you won't leave this situation without it transferring and transforming you. I have terrible hay fever at the moment. It's really irritating me. We have wood chips on the property, so thanks, Mitch. So I get hay fever from it. Now with this, let's see what's coming up. Now, even though you may have wounds from the past, which is funny I mentioned before about, you may be moving home. You're like, no, I'm good here. And now it's going to do it. I'm telling you, I don't know what's going on with the algorithm at the moment, but it's driving me crazy. Okay, let's see what's coming through before it drops out on me. I might have to reboot my system. So yes, there can be house movement, I'm feeling. Now the 6th house, Saturn and Aquarius links into your 6th house. Again, it's work related. A lot of work related things are coming up, but it is, and it makes sense because with the energy of the 9th house, and the reason I'm mentioning that, the 8th and the 9th house linking in, it's where we're not being codependent, but we're being healthily codependent on situations. Common theme coming up for Virgo. To actually manage your career sector and move that, I do feel it's where your power is going to come from. So if that has been something that has not been on point and you have been a bit troubled by it, you could be working in spiritual realm. But again, your spiritual realm is doing things that directly relate to you. So if you are happy and you feel enlightened in your career field, even if you're not working, it's a perfect time to be assessing that. This is a lot of why this whole shift is occurring. And look, some could hear that and go, yeah, blah, blah, blah. But the thing I'm saying is, look at it this way. If we feel energetically put in the naughty corner, and it's going to take as much work to do the job that you hate as much as it is to launch a new career, wouldn't you pick the better path? So it's not rocket science. It's if you feel energetically that now that you're away from that job, if you're away from a job, if that doesn't directly relate to you and how it makes you feel now, use that information and start putting energy into that of what you love. So it can sometimes be a transfer over where you'll be doing 2 things. And I'm going to pull a separate card just for work because it's coming up so heavily for you guys. Let's have a look. Okay, I'm feeling also tribe is very important for you guys. There can also be word of mouth, and also the wound is linking into because it hasn't worked in the past. Therefore, it may not work before. May not work before. Well, might not work, right? But that's not necessarily it. Remember the wound, because you have this placement where, things of the past that were taken from you, maybe it wasn't so stable and you did everything you could, but people might have been codependent on you and now it's shifted something to that degree. But what I'm saying is you feel right now maybe is not the right time. You've got the 3 of Cups in reverse. It's also your intuition. It might be if you're in a work domain and you don't feel directly connected to it, you sort of neither here nor there. And there might have been a failure in business in the past. That's what I'm feeling. And you're kind of looking at it going, so do I keep putting my energy into it? perfect time during Venus retrograde to feel it out, to sit in the energy, to assess that contract. Juno will be going direct. Juno for you guys, and I'll put my charts up on the wall to help me, so it's so much easier. So once I get the gist of where they are, it'll be easier. It's your second house, which again is, you know, your goods, the things you have, having the tools you need. It could be like me on YouTube. Do I have a camera? Okay, the camera's not working. Do I have this? Do I have that? Looking at those things and still trying to be creative with it. So I feel like some of you have a wound linking to this. You're also intuitively tapping into it. You're seeing where the vibration is. You're tuning into it, but you're not quite ready to operate. Also, with the Neptune energy coming through, I'm sensing that you guys at the moment can see distorted energies. It's also the unhealth of the planet at the moment. So, you know, you're kind of like, yay, nay, what do I do with this? So I'm going to pull a clarifier and hope it doesn't drop out. You don't want to waste any more money. You also don't want to invest in anything that isn't going to be beneficial to you. So I do feel you guys are deep in your third eye. Deep in your third eye to do with what to do, how to move forward, and if this is going to be safe for you to do such. And I do feel very positive energy. Most of your career sector, because you've got the 11th house activated, it's group orientation activities. And really, this is funny because this card does link into friends. Now, we've got the nodes in Cancer during Venus retrograde moving over. So we're then going to have the eclipses in Sagittarius, Cancer, then Capricorn. So we're cycling that energy out, starting a new energy in Sagittarius. Yeah, so it's group orientation, and you guys really, you know, being the Virgo energy, it may be because of the Gemini nodes we're tapping into with Saturn retrograde and Aquarius, but how the wider group's changing, because Aquarian energy in Saturn is going to show us what the wider group wants, how that feels, embodying that energy for a few months and seeing really, and if you're getting a hunch, you really need to be moving on it during that cycle. So you're going to get a slight energy in an audit situation with planets going retrograde, so it's a benefit to us. Really what's not working and fine-tuning those old belief systems. Meanwhile, moving into the new energy, which I do feel will take 3 months, which does make sense, because we'll have May, June, July. We'll move over in that energy, and then you guys will be looking at, okay, what do we need to do now? And if you have had the hunch, this is where I think it's quite important. The energy of the Uranian energy is going to go retrograde, so that will be in August. And I was seeing August being a pivotal time of change. With that energy going retrograde, it can be all of a sudden something shifts and changes. So if you have decided that you are not right for a partnership, a contract, a connection, a job, and you don't shift that, it's going to be moved for you. So trust in that intuition, because it's intuitively guiding you. Your crowning energy is the King of Swords. So this is where you're hoping, however, and whoever is in your life is leveled up. This is both you, this is them, this is how you need things to be. It's time to shape up or ship out. Now, this can be a person coming back into your life that potentially was in that way, maybe towards others, but not towards you. You've had to be very independent. I can also, again, I do feel this frequency around you that although you're second guessing yourself, what people see in you is what you saw in them, but then it's split. And now you kind of see each other's perspective, I feel. So there can be a lot of communication and conversations coming up, and I'm also feeling wounds. I'm feeling inner child wounds with something that this can be about a child or about children. It also can be to do, I'm feeling childhood wounds, but I do feel it could be to do with children. Yeah, home-related dynamic. Again, I'm feeling the energy of the Cancer nodes. Where's that placement for you? Why? 11th house. Makes sense? Yeah, so a lot of changes really within your connections. A lot of changes within your hobbies, your pastimes, the way you see things. Because you're looking at groups, and this can even be old friends coming back from the past and really missing that due to us being in lockdown, so to speak. So it's almost like the art of appreciation I'm seeing, and how you can be unique, but it could be where you're actually overprotecting yourself or over subjected to a vibration. So it's high or low. The conflict as such you may be trying to avoid and wanting to go into hermit mode, even though you could be in hermit mode, it just feels trying to avoid that aspect of conflict and not wanting it. But there is a cycle that some of you believe is not going to be able to be tied up because it didn't come up upright or reversed. It's like neither here nor there. Some of you are really time jumping where you're in the past and you're in the future, but you're not actually anchoring the energy down to what is the vibration now. And I think usually when you're going through your third eye and you're looking at your relationships, how you feel about that person, what's coming up, what's being said to you, how they're going to react, how they are reacting. You're in the third eye energy assessing it. When you're at the fluid energy, you'll find it's shifting. So there is a spiritual blockage here, and it is preventing that movement, and it can be due to conflict around you. Conflict of interest, conflict of beliefs, maybe thinking that you're too different for this to balance. But I'm feeling this is more a spiritual blockage than a reality. And I do feel fear-based frequency. I am feeling a bit of competition as well. It doesn't have to be that you're in competition with people, but you could feel that, the competition's there for some shape or form. Again, remember, Venus does link into money, the niceties we have, employment, connections, friendships, family. It's all those beautiful things. This may be because somebody is very charismatic with their words, and so you don't wish to be manipulated. You could be actually doing this, but I feel this is more another energy, and it's like they make you a little bit nervous, but somehow they can come across a little bit manipulative. So it's making you a bit wary. But they're not traditional. And see, look, the way I tune into cards is really unique. Sometimes they take on their own energy of a meaning for me, of what's being shown to me in a theme at the time. And the Hierophant in reverse for me, what is being shown to me is really connection that has not been done the traditional way. They hold traditional attributes, but they haven't in the past potentially acted that way. It's also where you probably don't want to be really held down, and especially with the Venus energy being in Gemini, you'll find there could be very much, especially with the energy of Mercury moving into Taurus on the 27th, it's like independence. Don't stop suppressing me. Don't suppress me. So again, I am feeling Venus retrograde at the beginning stage is really kind of starting off a bit agitated, a bit like a dog really happy to see you and you're trying to kick it off your leg. It's please let me be. So it is very independent. So the energy of codependence just telling you. Probably all the way through, really. Okay, let's see what they want to tell you. Love interest energy. And I've only done this for your sign, so I better do it before it breaks out. Okay, much regret. So anything that they feel was off track, didn't get ahead, you've got the Seven of Cups in reverse. And I did say this morning on the live session that the Seven of Cups is almost like the 7 stages of healing. There's various ways that road can go. And in a sense, I don't know why, it kind of, for me, is linking with the Magician card. When you're looking at things at a spiritual level and you're tuning into what can happen, what happened in the past, but what if they do this? What if they say this? What about that we didn't address? You're coming from the intuition. So the energy is doors don't tend to open. And when they are, if you have been really triggered by a feeling, it's going to continue to play out. And you can then attract that same vibration over and over again. This person feels very decisive. They know what they want. They do feel regret. They see the value in you and they're wanting to correct things. So the intent is pure where they're coming. Midway. End. Okay, conversations about this not reaching its full potential are going to come up. And I do feel they understand, ultimately speaking, they are traditional, but they weren't able to show that due to some hurdles that they went through. Okay? So this is going to be a person that potentially can come back. And I'm feeling two energies. So Virgo, you guys are popular. What is this two energy? I'm feeling two potential partners, two potential situations. It's kind of taking you off guard. When this does happen, I do feel this may take you off guard. And they may not even... You're not going to see it coming. I'm getting this really weird energy. It's almost like it's two different, could be two different sexes. This could be a male and a female. Two people that you did not know liked you and you're like kind of dumbfounded. But this feels two people, two energies. Anyone in the house want to tell me what the devil's going on with Virgo? I mean, hey, take my hat off to you. There's two energies there. There's two energies in the house. Yeah, no. It could be, but it just feels like they like you. There's two energies, though. The second energy may be apologising. You know, it feels apologetic. I don't know. There you go. It feels like two, either a current partner, some of you are in a partnership. So this could be, you know, you're kind of assessing it and this other person's coming back and you're like, oh, God, you know, you picked me at a crappy time. Oh, but wow, okay. It's taking you off guard, but this is a person that, and you kind of like, oh, I'm almost feeling this overwhelmed. I'm almost feeling this overwhelmed energy like, oh, wow, okay. But you guys are going to be really nervous because they're very, very charismatic. Like, I feel like you're going into the inner child energy. It's like it's taking you back to your heyday. Forget the butterflies. It's not even the butterfly. It's like you're speechless. Speechless. They've got charisma. I'm going to pull a chakra card. They've got a way with them. I don't know what it is on a magic mic hands, whatever this is, whoever they are, they've got the grooves. They've got the moves. It's so awkward when you're a psychic medium and you tap into this. Sometimes you have the most uncomfortable vibrations. You're like, this is private. This is private. I don't want to be seeing this stuff. This is hot around the collar, but I feel you guys like shitting yourself. No power here. There's no power. Yeah, it makes sense. Base chakra, they take you off your feet like that. Yeah, communication. During Venus retrograde, it's going to be music to your ears, but you're going to be like, what? Oh. However this plays out, please share. I want the dirty goss, okay? I want the juice. You share with me, okay? It's Gemini. We want the dirt. Give us the dirt. Any questions? Okay, I'm just tuning out of that because that's all hot and heavy. Whew. At least someone's getting lucky around here, huh? Yeah, well. Yeah, you've got to share it here. We want the goss. And I might even do a touch-up read for this. But after I finish all this, I will be doing, starting during the week, the updates for May. And I'm going to do them all intuitive. And cards, no astrology. I've told you the astrology. I'll do a separate astrology read. If you do want the in-depth astrology read, for you guys. I try and do the interpretations via websites, so tune into that and I'll do the blog there. But if you do want to kind of join the two charts in a romantic partnership, and to bounce off themes and then pull the cards surrounding that energy, you can book a reading on my website and I'll do that for you guys, both psychically, astrologically, and with the charts. And the funny thing is, we get all these comments on here, right? And then the video gets kind of completely done, and then nobody chats underneath, and then nobody ever sees the video because nobody chats after the video. And that's the crucial point, guys. It doesn't get viewed. It would be nice to change for DM. They're still struggling with that, and I will be doing a chat on that. I will be actually, doing a chat on masculine energies at the moment with the healing, because there is some healing going on there, and it's a little bit awkward. Okay, so remember, the mirror, when we're looking at that energy, we've got to pull it back here. And that's like, that's hard work over there, right? We just, I would not want to be a man right about now. I was a man in a previous life. That's why I've had so much karma, I think. Yeah, this was my karma. I'm keeping in my lane on this occasion. Okay, I will be back in 5. We've done Virgo. We'll be doing Taurus. Any Taurians in the building? And then we shall get on to the fire signs. Love and light, I'll be back. It won't let me go. This happens every time. I love you too, YouTube.